Actually, I'm in the middle of the trade currently, but I think it's gonna get stopped out at break even. I mean, we'll find out, or you'll know based off of the title of the video whether or not this trade, went break even or not. But it's 7:30 a.m. So I just want to, get it out of the way and explain what happened, explain what I saw, explain what I did. I haven't been in drawdown once this entire trade, as you see, but let's not focus on that right now. So let's remove all that. Let me move Daniel down, decrease camera size, put you in that corner. Tuh, great. Okay, so let's see, 9:30. I want to. Okay, great. We'll just start right here, right? So here's what I saw on the day. Here's what my bias was. At first looking at the higher time frames, I'm thinking bearish because we have a bearish SMT because this is the all-time high on ES, but this is not the all-time high on NQ. This is, hold on. That's the all-time high. So we're in an obvious bearish SMT. We're not rejecting off of any high time frame fair value gaps. So I moved to the lower time frame, right? Now I'm really gonna determine my bias, okay? Now what I wanted to see was I wanted to see price open, come up, sweep the 830 data high because we had PPI. And I wanted to target the data lows, the midnight open, and the relative equal Asian and London session lows. That's a great draw on liquidity. I couldn't ask for a better draw, but that's all depending if price does. And if price did want to come down and sweep these out, I'd want to look for price to open up, sweep the data high, maybe even the all-time high if price is feeling really volatile. And I'd just look for a short entry. It would have been really simple. Yeah, this is what the 5 minute looks like. Nothing crazy. This is clean price action. I keep talking about this note that says, what messy and clean price action look like. Get selective. This is clean price action. This is something I can make a draw off of. It was perfect. So I was willing to trade today, and my headspace going into today's trading was much more clear than yesterday and the day before, because price was messy. I told myself getting onto this, well, I'm only gonna be looking for a trade if it's not like how Monday and Tuesday were. So let's get into market open, right? Waiting for market open. There you go. So market open, it's not favorable, right? Because it would have been a much better draw on liquidity. There would have been much more volatility towards my draws on liquidity if price had gone bullish first, sweeping out the data high, right? Which makes total sense. Maybe sweeping out the all-time high, and then continuing down to the data low, midnight open, and relative equal London and Asian lows. That would have been perfect, but that's not what happened, right? So now that I have that in mind, I have to keep in mind that, okay, well, since price is going to take out the higher draws on liquidity, or the higher resistance draws on liquidity, I'm going to have low volatility longing, right? So I'm letting price develop. I want to see price sweep the data low and maybe take an entry off of that if it presents itself. Equilibrium is resting above the Asian and London low, so maybe if price is feeling really, really volatile, let's sweep the London and Asian low, and then I'll definitely be looking for a long for a 1 hour retrace in this, hypothetical candle all the way down to such levels. But let's see how price plays out. We rebalance, okay, we make structure, okay, we sweep. I believe we end up making a SMT, right? On NQ, we swept this low, but on ES, I'm not going to show it because this is real time frame trading. Yeah, now we're making a bullish SMT. I'm like, okay, so maybe I can have some sort of confidence and confidence in longs because I'm getting the confluences for bullish price action if price decides to do so and show me an entry. So now I'm on the 1 minute, right? I'm going to be looking for a break of structure, hopefully an inverse fair value gap or a change in state of delivery. As long as we have a liquidity sweep and a bullish SMT, that's all I care for, right? So price continues to develop. We touch the midnight open. We create a new high. Okay, now I'm thinking, okay, if we break over this, if we do a break of structure over this 1 minute high, then I might be looking for an entry off of a retrace into a fair value gap, whatever. I don't know. It depends. Anyways, we continue to go lower. We continue to retest the midnight open. Awesome. Now let's do this. Okay, now we're getting close, right? So at this point, I'm marking out every break of structure, and I'm marking out our change in state of delivery on the 5 minute, right? Which you'll see right now. Okay, that becomes our change in state of delivery for the 5 minute time frame, right? Price is still below this low, even though we sweep this same low on ES. It still gives me confluence as a bullish SMT, even though we swept it, because from a longer distance, we're still in a bullish SMT, right? So I'm okay with this. Awesome, right? Then price develops. Okay, now we're getting some legs up. Get them back down. I'm just marking out every single break of structure possible, okay? Okay, now we have a break of structure right here. Okay, so this was our high. This was our higher high, which marks out a break of structure if price were to close above. Then we have the 5 minute change in state. That's all I really want to see in order to take a long, because we're failing to print lower. Yes, we're resting at the lower high time frame part of the candle, but if we were truly bearish, at least at this moment, we would be printing lower. So I'm not really worried about that. We'd be seeking out more draws on liquidity because we have such strong draws on liquidity right here. So the fact that we're not pushing gives me confidence that we're going to go higher off of this bullish SMT, right? We obviously sweep the data low. Anyways, I do a market position off of this change in state of delivery, and I don't get in drawdown. So I was talking to you yesterday about how if your entry isn't optimal, then don't move your stops to break even at a valid break even point, right? And I'll show you exactly why. So you see my entries right here. I put my stop loss down here at the swing low, okay? Now there's a fair value gap resting right below my entry. So what that tells me is, okay, even though price may come up to this 1 minute high right here, I'm not going to move it at break even because I have a fair value gap right here. Maybe price wants to price wants to retest the fair value gap and use it as leverage to continue going higher. So you always have to be prepared for a retrace, because like I told you the other day, whatever comes high has to come low. Whatever comes low has to come high. So be prepared to expect retraces, and you want to the same way. I'm gonna involve God the same way, like God, I don't know, put you in a car crash, hypothetically, right? And you came out with a car that was $20,000 worth more because of insurance. It's like, yeah, you had to go through shitty price action, but you came out with more. So everything makes sense the same way that God makes things make sense. Price is very surgical. A lot of times it's not. But that's how I'm going to relate it and put it into perspective for you, right? So let's continue with price. Okay, great. We come up. I mark out equilibrium from this 1 minute swing low to the swing high. And look at that. Price rebalances off of equilibrium. If I had moved break even just because we had touched this high, I would have been fucked, because I'm aware that my entry isn't optimal, right? So let's move on. Price is developing. We're not getting, honestly, a strong leg up, which is why I think we're gonna go break even on this trade, because my order hasn't filled yet. I haven't heard. You'll hear it, like last time when I accidentally entered a position. You'll hear it say order filled, but order has not filled. I have not took take profit one, which is at the 5 minute fair value gap right here. And because we have such low volatility and bullish momentum, I reduced my ultimate take profit from the all-time high to the data high. Or no, that's the data high, but I'm not even going to do the data high. I'm just going to do this high right here. I'm not really bothered. I'm not worried. I understand. All risk is off the table. I'm okay with not making money. Okay. Price is developing. We continue higher into the fair value gap. We retrace off of it, and this is where I'm at currently in price. I do think we're gonna break out. So when price chops up like this, you could tell that we're not getting bad price action, right? You know what bad price action is because you saw it yesterday on the charts. That's bad price action. This we're actually delivering and we're making sense of price and what it wants to do. As you see right here, we come back down to retest equilibrium to use it as a leverage to continue going higher so the banks have the discount price range, right? Then we keep coming up. And then sometimes, look, I'm not a retail trader. Support and resistance traders, I don't think it works. There are some people that can make it work. Good for them. Kudos to them. But it's also important to keep in mind it's help for confluence, and I'll explain what right now, right? So there's a retail support and resistance pattern. It's like some sort of flag, right? I don't know. I don't know what it's called. I don't study these concepts, so I wouldn't know. Okay. So there's this pattern, right, where it consolidates at the top, but continues to make higher highs. That's what I'm seeing here. That's decent confluence enough for me to think that we might get a breakout, because this is what would be called in retail trading, which I don't do personally. I trade ICT concepts. This is what would be a breakout pattern. This is a breakout pattern showing right now. So hopefully that can push price, or the concept of this confluence can give me the confidence in my trade that price will actually reach a take profit. I do think we're going to go break even. If I'm wrong, that's cool. I make money from it. If I'm right on break even, it's fine. I have no risk on the table. It's just another day to preserve capital. So I might come back. I don't think I will, but you'll see. It'll either say at the title of my video, making $0 day trading, or you'll see the profit of whatever this is. Or yeah, I don't know. I think it's, let's see. I don't even want to look at the money right now because I don't want that to mess with my psychology. But we are making a bearish SMT from these highs. Let me show you. That's what also makes me think I'll go break even, because we swept it on ES, but we're failing to on NQ. So yeah, that's my confluence behind why I think I'll go break even. But yeah, like I said, I'll update you guys. This was the information I used on ES. You could see that bullish SMT got put in right here. And then now I'm just looking for a bearish SMT to identify whether or not I'm going to go break even. But yeah, thank the Lord for the stewarding of my knowledge. My name is Daniel Jatani. I'm through Christ, I'm a profitable trader. I execute based on logic, not fear, and my edge is my skill, not my emotions. You guys have a good one. You'll see the result in the title.